Um, so he has a quote here that he says in the Stephen Hassan book. He says, quote, deny a person the information they require to make sound judgments and they will be incapable of doing so. Wow, dude. That is a freaking bar. Like, a cult is going to be very selective in the information that it shares with you, so that based on the information that you receive, your analytical mind can only make decisions that are in line with the interests of the cult. You know what I'm saying? And largely, bro, if you haven't read Noam Chomsky's famous book, Manufacturing Consent, he talks about how headlines and the media has historically, the military industrial complex has manufactured consent of the American populace by getting us to be down for wars and shit like that, by controlling how shit is framed in our media and like what we don't get told about. The famous thing, Robert Cialdini, the famous writer of influence, I think in either his book Influence or Persuasion, he talks about how the Bush administration had this role of they would do like they would embed the media with U.S. troops, like in the Iraq War. So I was a kid. I remember my dad telling me that this is one of the most covered, probably the most covered war, ever, in U.S. history in terms of journalism. But the thing that he was missing with that was this idea of, covered from one perspective, right? They were doing a lot of profiles on the American soldiers that were involved and stuff like that. And yeah, dude, like that's probably an important part of the journalism. But if we're always seeing things from the perspective of the U.S. troops and don't get the perspective of, say, the Iraqis on the ground, we're going to be automatically being persuaded to this biased viewpoint, dude. You know what I'm saying?